What's up, family? Thank you so much for tuning into Conversations with the Coronavirus Survivor. I'm your host, Marielle, and we're so grateful that you are tuned in today. If you're new to the show, we have really good conversations with people who have either contracted the coronavirus, maybe they are a medical expert, they're an essential worker. We've talked to family members. We've had so many different conversations around the coronavirus because we want to keep the conversation going. Despite what you're seeing around the country right now, we really need you to know that we're still in the midst of a pandemic. And we feel like it is our responsibility here at Hope TV to make sure that we are giving you all the information. We're making sure that you are getting engaged with different stories of people and doctors and family members and the likes, just so we can keep you well aware of what's going on so you can make very responsible decisions regarding your health and the health of people around you. So today I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about something that I've been wondering about. And so we're going to be talking about nutrition during the pandemic. And today I have Miss Karla Coffee Dunning, who is a registered dietitian. And we're just going to be talking about what do we need to do in order to make sure that we are our healthiest selves during this pandemic. So if you could help me welcome Miss Karla to the show. Hey there,
How
how
you
you
doing?
doing? I
How's
am good.
everything?
I am wonderful. I hope that you are wonderful. Um, so we've had you on the show before. And it was right when the pandemic started, right? There has been a lot that has happened.
Oh
So,
yes.
so much is going on in the past 5 months, right? So, the first thing that I wanted to start with is, what have you learned since we've last talked to you regarding, nutrition, the pandemic? Because we didn't really know too much about this virus, right? 5 months ago. So, what have you
You
kind
know,
of learned since the last time we talked to you?
well, I've learned so much. Like nutrition is going to be the treatment for the treatment, the prevention of COVID-19, and basically, as we see with the underlying health issues, unfortunately, the majority of the patients dying of COVID-19 have underlying health issues such as obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, and also chronic kidney disease is very, very important. As we see, nutrition is the cornerstone. It's more important than basically, to me, taking your medicine. You got to take care of yourself first. So a lot of research is going to come out of this. A lot of hope diets. Hopefully we're pushed to the forefront of helping people in their health.
Yeah, so a lot of people have, been talking about, okay, well, I just need to change my diet, or, so maybe I won't be as susceptible. So let's kind of talk about that. What is your viewpoint on people's diet as it relates to the pandemic, and we're in the midst of, um, something that's really contagious. And so how should people really be going about looking at their diet and that perspective of it?
Well, first of all, I want to tell anybody it's never too late to make any changes. I don't care if you're 300 pounds. I don't care if you're 250. You can start day one right now. I don't care if it's the middle of the month. You really need to change your diet. And I'm seeing a lot of people doing a lot of takeout, a lot of fast food going, a lot of comfort foods. And so 5 months ago, I'm not even at the same weight I was at. But the whole thing is to adopt something that's a plant-based type of diet, and also trying to also incorporate exercise. So the whole thing is eating and cooking more at home. And the first place you can start is eating breakfast in the morning.
Gotcha. So we've noticed ever since the pandemic started, it looks like our shelves in the grocery stores are kind of being a little thin. And so there's certain items that we possibly could purchase that we used to could purchase before the pandemic started, right? But now it looks
Right.
like they're not accessible. So what are some ways that we could possibly navigate that even when we're trying or want to eat healthier?
Right. The whole thing is the bulk buying and the panic buying. I hope it's worn off because, again, you have your shelves were just empty. I experienced that trying to have chicken wings. I've never seen chicken wings $30, and I saw that for the first time.
Wow.
And usually chicken wings are 99 cents a pound. and that's chicken. So the first thing to say is that if you want to build yourself up a pantry, of dry storage. So it'll be basically legumes, dry beans, and also I know a lot of people say I don't eat tuna fish, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do: peanut butter, canned meats. Try to buy everything low sodium. That's the key word, because I think over 80% of African Americans have high blood pressure. So make sure everything has to be low sodium crackers, and I want to make sure you have the basics every day. And then always want to buy family size packs of meat. Even if you're a single person, you always want to buy family size of meat. And you also have to recommend too that meat always has an expiration date. So everything you packed in that freezer needs to be cooked within 1 year or less than 6 months. And if it was a cooked meats or cooked meals that you have frozen, you want to make sure in 3 months. So you always want to build you up a good pantry of rice, whole grains, beans, again, canned meats, and like peanut butter. And you can always have you some good Lance crackers on hand.
Good. So you mentioned earlier we should start with eating breakfast. And if any person is like me, I struggle with that
Okay.
because I don't know what it is. I'm just like, eh. And when I do eat breakfast, I don't know if it's the healthiest breakfast. So what are
Right.
some breakfast ideas that we can start our day with, just to kind of, for those of us like me who struggle with the breakfast
Okay.
idea?
Okay, with the breakfast idea, and now you can buy. Also, I forgot to also mention non-perishable like protein bars. They have breakfast
Hmm.
bars now. That'll be good for somebody on the go. Maybe like you, you don't want to do the traditional one egg toast, whole wheat toast. And then also you always want to have measuring cups. Anytime you have grits, I know a lot of people eat a lot of grits here in the South. Also, if you do any type of oatmeal, I'm a very good proponent of oatmeal 3 times a week with fiber. So you always want to have within 1 hour you waking up some type of breakfast. Because I know right now we're not really on a schedule. Even me, I'm not even on a schedule. All the days are the
Right.
same. And so a breakfast bar would be good. But if you're in a hurry, I recommend that. So again, there's no bacon, no sausage. So it's traditional Southern breakfast is going to be like 5 pieces of bacon or a bacon sandwich or
Yes.
that British farm sausage. I'm trying to even turkey sauce has a lot of salt. So you want to get all that, really not a healthy breakfast. And if you want bacon sausage, maybe once or twice a week.
Now that makes me happy because I love bacon, and most times I don't trust people who don't eat bacon. So knowing that I can have it at least maybe once or twice a week is good. So for
Right.
people who may have, we've noticed with the virus that people who have underlying conditions tend to have a higher fatality rate, right, with the virus, or they are more susceptible. So for
Right.
people who do have underlying conditions, maybe high blood pressure, maybe asthma, things of that nature, what are some things that should really be in our shopping carts? So what are the intentional things we need to put in our shopping carts to make sure that we're healthy?
Right. Everything that you need to do is going to be immune booster foods. And everybody said, what is an immune booster foods? We've been hearing that like that's been like a buzzword. You put that in Instagram and everything. So it's foods high in antioxidants, omega-3, zinc, vitamin D. So those things will be dark green leafy vegetable. And what is a dark green leafy vegetable? That'll be kale, spinach, broccoli, things a
Mhm.
lot of people say they don't want, their mother used to make them eat. But again, going back to that, also having people don't realize eggs. Eggs are high in zinc. Eggs are high also in vitamin D. Also, you want to always have fresh vegetables like blueberries, strawberries in your cart, apples, oranges. I always want to use garlic. It's also an immune booster type of food to add to your food. So all these things that we were saying, beans are high in fiber. So there are a
Mhm.
wide variety of things, and also I can leave like material to actually tell you what are these different foods in different categories. We can go down the list. We can do nuts, almonds, all the things that are good for you that are on the list. Collard greens, people never thought about it. So at least 2 cups of fresh and frozen vegetables every day. Now in nutrition, we all talk about the plate method. I don't know if you can see it,
Hmm.
but if you can see it, you want to make sure that you have at least half your plate to be always vegetables. So if you think of a plate, you want to do everything vegetables, dark green leafy vegetables. If you like salads, I always like arugula. You can do Boston lettuce. And then here, that'll be the starch. Again, if you like white rice, make sure no more than 1 cup. You got quinoa. People don't realize that is very good for you. And then here, like the meat is lean cuts of meat. And remember, it's no chicken. There's no fried chicken here on the plate. There's no ribs on our plate. So the whole thing is making sure that you're eating this at least twice a day. You're having 2 cups of vegetable. That should be normal. Like even I have added spinach, kale to my diet at least twice a week, and it's very easy to make less than 5 minutes by stir frying. And then fruit. You can always have fresh fruit with you, apples. I know food has gone up, unfortunately, but you can always find those fresh vegetables. And if you're unable to find fresh vegetables at the price, you can always do frozen vegetables. I'm a very good proponent of frozen vegetables. And now a lot of people have to go to food pantries. You can do canned vegetables, but unfortunately, I know sometimes they're not going to have low sodium options.
Exactly. Exactly. That was exactly what I was going to ask because most times what you hear with canned vegetables is there's it's so high in sodium a lot,
Right.
and I'm hoping that the companies are adjusting that where they could at least make a low sodium option. I'm hoping that we're moving in that direction.
I hope so, but I've been going to the grocery stores almost every week, and like
Yeah.
because due to the shortage, I'm not seeing too many low sodium options
Yeah.
being done. And that's a whole nother topic about food deserts and
Yes.
about availability of healthy foods in grocery stores, in the communities that
Absolutely.
need them. Because I
Absolutely.
think, I mean, that goes along with everything else going on in the world about, inequality and where you live really determines, grocery store determines everything.
Absolutely. So one of the things when we first talked to you, right when this thing first kind of started, we were hearing, oh, it doesn't really affect kids. The virus is kind of just adults. But now we've seen that really shift, and especially with kids now and the conversation with them going back to school and things of that nature. So, what are some things that, as if people are parents, that they should really be looking at trying to feed their children, especially right now if they're having to make them go back to school? Like, what are some things that they can do to kind of help their immune systems?
Okay, and so the first thing I would do, another thing about the immune boosters, I'm not a proponent of any type of multivitamin because you've seen all that crazy myths on the internet. This is going to cure you or prevent you from prevention of COVID-19. Only thing I can say is first thing far as kids, what you have to always introduce them is vegetables, fresh vegetables. Most kids like vegetables if they're introduced to them. And so I would say at least 1 cup of fruits and vegetables every day. It can be
Hmm.
something as simple as salad. You can always do a meatless day, and it'll be the same thing far as the prevention of COVID-19 will probably be a protein. You want to up their protein also. It'll be leaner cuts of meat. So it's not chicken fingers. It's actually offering leaner cuts of chicken, fish, and making sure that they're eating a dinner, and that dinner consists of maybe the 1 to 2 cups because you have teenagers that they're of age and they're tall and they can eat the 1 to 2 cups of vegetables a day, and also two making sure the meat is not fried, make sure it's baked, boiled, or grilled, and not adding so much salt to the food. So using Mrs. Dash or any type of herbs and spices. So basically, what you eat is what the teenagers or the kids can eat. But begin, the first thing is offering like breakfast in the morning. First thing to go is a solid breakfast. And then for lunch, with everything going on, you may have to fix them on lunch. But a lot of people are doing virtual learning now. So again, you probably have to again provide a healthy lunch. And what is a healthy lunch? That could be something simple as a turkey sandwich. If you do any type of chips, any type of things like that, you want to make sure you only offer a half a cup, but make sure it's that bag. So you can
Yeah.
do that. Also offer some type of fruit, and then also offer some type of vegetable, carrot sticks, celery sticks, and then some type of peanut butter for as a protein yogurt. It's a lot of things that you can offer at home to be healthy, and also you can make it fun. You can always do something like a cheese pizza that is healthy for something far as a high protein type of snack, and then your snacks need to be high protein as well.
Oh,
So
that's so
whatever
good to
you
know.
eat, so the whole thing for the COVID-19, what we have seen, also drinking water. I forgot to talk about the importance of water. And I was drinking about 2 liters of water for a grown person. And if a person is recovering from COVID-19, maybe they have to drink almost 3 liters of water. So you always want to have water on hand and always want to have cases and cases of water. That's one thing that you need to stockpile on bottled water, and making sure the team is drinking at least 3 bottled waters a day. You have like somebody in preschool or like a middle school child, depending on their size, they can drink about 2 water bottles minimum a day. That's pure water. And if the child doesn't like to drink water, you can add Crystal Light. But again, I'm not a proponent of any sparkling waters because again, you don't know if they have a lot of sugar, salt, all those things. And then staying away from the caffeine, the sodas, and also
Yeah.
juice. Make sure the juice is 100% juicy juice, not the fruit drink.
That's good to know. So I want to go back to something you said earlier where we're kind of noticing now because we're 5 months in. Um, a lot of people are like, look, I'm tired of cooking, or I've been working all day. I got the kids, and I got a homeschool. It's just a lot. So it just makes more sense for me to just order out. Like we just do takeout. And so if we choose to go that route, what are things that we could look at that may be like some healthier options, or how do we really study the menu just to make sure we're not just loading ourselves up or the family up with just a bunch of junk food because we're tired, but we can be a little bit more intentional even if we are going to do takeout with healthier options.
Okay. And see, that's tricky because most of the time when you do take out, it's already coming in on a truck. So you're just going to have to say, you're going to have to take a hit and say, okay, it's high in sodium. And if you want to look at things, 600 milligrams or less of sodium, if you buy any type of frozen meal, or a lot of people doing like those Stouffer lasagna family size, they're gone. You can't find them at no grocery
Yeah.
store. And so I know those are high in sodium, but if you can find the lower sodium, 600 milligrams or less, if you have a frozen meal. And then some of the things that you want to try is always a salad, always trying to do some type of green. You always say, man, I had this fried chicken meal, but did I add coleslaw? Did I add any type of greenery? And most times it's not going to be on the menu if you go out. And so you're going to have to add a lot of things. So it's baked, boiled, or grilled. Nothing with a lot of sauces. You could do hamburger, a plain hamburger without the cheese. It's not like a single patty. A small fry. Everything you do in nutrition is portion size. So everything is small.
Mm.
Even for a grown man or a young boy, it's still going to be a small just because of the portion size. And if you have a family, far as French fries, everybody needs to be sharing. So you want to do everything baked, boiled, or grill. Make sure they have a lot of baked options if you're doing a lot of fast food and takeout. And also, you just have to remember, okay, today my family is splurging, but I'm going to have to really divvy up the portion size. I know a lot of people do a lot of chicken wings, a lot of fried things, and so you just have to remember the portion and the amount that you're eating. And did you add some type of vegetable, or do they offer vegetables? Because some do offer. Now they offer asparagus, they offer cauliflower, they offer mixed vegetables, so they offer salads. So they're offering something green, but are you really going to take the time to actually order it? Most people, no. They go out, they're going to eat what they want to.
I'm guilty. I'm one of those people. So, but I'm gonna do better. So this conversation has really helped me because that's something that I'm leaning towards. Is how do I eat healthier? Because I want to make sure that my immune system is as healthy as it possibly can be. Because especially now, as we're having to integrate kind of back into the world, you don't know who you're around. You don't know if they're
Right.
asymptomatic. You don't know any of those things. So I
Right.
think exactly. So trying to do as much as you can for yourself and on the front end, I think is super, super important. So you've given us so many great tips today. So whether people are single, married, have kids, I think we've covered all the bases. But if there is something, is there anything that you want to leave with the audience today, as we close this conversation?
Nutrition, please. Nutrition is going to be for the prevention and treatments, the center stone. So it's never too late to ever change your diet. So please examine what you're eating. Pay attention to your weight. Please drink at least 2 liters of water every day. I mean, pure water every day if you can. Hydration is very important. And if the only thing we get out of this conversation, 2 cups of dark green leafy vegetables every day. 2 cups of dark green leafy vegetables is no, or half your plate should be vegetables every day to help boost your immune system. So I'm not trying to say nutrition is going to be very, very important. And also pay attention to your numbers, pay attention to your blood sugar, exercise, and also everything comes down to your weight. And as we see, observing from all the deaths that I've seen on TV, a lot of these patients have been, half of them have been morbidly obese and have diabetes and underlying issues. So please don't turn a blind eye. Just because we're going through a pandemic doesn't mean you can't take your medicine. But nutrition is the forefront and for everything. So please, please, 2 cups of dark green leafy vegetables, 2 liters of water per day.
Perfect. So this honestly has helped me a lot because I have definitely been thinking about it. So I know that I appreciate it, the audience appreciates it. And so we really appreciate you for coming on just to educate us about how we can be our healthiest selves. So thank you for joining us today. And family, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for tuning in. Of course, we're coming back with more episodes. We got more information. Again, we want to make sure we keep this conversation at the forefront. We are still in the midst of a pandemic, and we just want you to be safe and healthy. So until next time, we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.